Hey everybody, it's Noah. Welcome to the first in the long series of Zack Snyder uh, DC movie reviews. They were starting with Man of Steel,
Yeah.
and we're gonna jump right into this. First thing we gotta talk about, man, like Krypton.
Okay.
What do you think of Jor-El?
Okay. So I think Joro is good in this film. He's he's not selfish, and he just wants what's best for his son. And
Yep.
he basically sacrifices himself in a way. He doesn't. He does a lot to try to save his race by sending his son to another planet. And he
Hmm.
never gets on my nerves, and he's really the only person that makes sense on Krypton because everybody else is an idiot.
Yeah, that's right. Terrible leadership, man.
Yeah,
Like planet's dying. They're just sitting there and they're like sentencing people to death,
yeah,
and it's like what?
yeah,
I mean, I get it. I
their
get it. They try to
priority
kill other
is
people, but
yeah. No, they don't even sentence them to death though. They just send them to 200 years in prison, well, frozen chamber or what? Not a chamber, but they freeze them for 200 years. So I mean, they don't even really
they didn't
kill
really
him.
die.
No, they didn't die.
Yeah,
They
well,
don't
they
die.
will
They just
eventually, but we'll get to
well,
that.
yeah, yeah. We'll get to that. I mean, I personally think Krypton is beautiful.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know,
great looking place.
Krypton is a beautiful place, but it's gotta be one of the weakest points in the movie, just because the the characters there are so boring and so bad at their leadership.
Hmm.
Like I do not
I mean, really,
care about the
I think that's what you're
council.
supposed to think, because like the only cool guy there was Jor-El and Zod. Cool
Yeah,
guys were Zod and Jor-El. But and their fight is pretty cool.
their fight is
But
cool.
like the way he kills Jor-El is so funny. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
like
when
you
it's
accidentally used your hidden blade on a guy
yeah
in Assassin's Creed. That's what it looked like. It's
when
like,
I'm
oh,
playing
I'm gonna act like I meant to do that.
when I'm playing Unity and I walk by extremist and I accidentally stab him. Oops, got all the guards
uh,
swarming in on me. And
didn't mean to do that
I don't think it was an accident, but the way that his face is he has this face constantly. Zod
throughout the
does
movie.
throughout the
Throughout the
film.
movie.
Throughout the
Yep.
whole film, Zod has this look on his face like, "Oh no, I forgot to take out the trash on trash day. Uh-oh, I left the stove on." That's how he looks throughout this whole entire
Uh-oh.
movie.
I left my son at daycare
Yeah,
the whole day.
exactly. Uh-oh, I left my tuna sandwich out. Like like yeah, he just has this look on his face that he's just like constantly like he just gave somebody the wrong order at Arby's.
Yeah.
Um
I asked for barbecue, not brisket.
yeah, exactly. So I think Krypton is a great set piece. It's a great set piece, but they just do nothing with it besides the intro, and obviously because the planet gets destroyed. But I mean, even in the intro, they barely do anything with it because the characters, the council, are so dry and are such big idiots that it just is like, okay, you made this whole set piece in CGI and it looks really cool and all, but you barely use it and you barely use its potential.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it looked really good to me. I loved it.
Well, yeah,
I love
that's
that
not.
part of the movie.
Well, that's not
It's
my
actually my
point.
favorite
Is
part, other than the Superman versus Zod. That's probably the best
you know,
part.
well, I would enjoy it if they did more with it. Like, I'm not saying that it's bad. Like, it's a beautiful set piece, but
Hmm.
you need more things going on in that set piece to make it an amazing set piece. The scene
Hmm.
though where he's on the the dragon, not a dragon thing, but like when he takes the thing,
Codex.
yeah, the codex, when he takes the codex, that scene's awesome.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's a great set piece. I just feel like it was sort of a missed opportunity where you could have done more with Krypton. And I get that obviously the focus isn't a Krypton movie and all, but still, I mean, Could have done a little bit more with it, I feel like. And maybe pick a better counsel, but, So,
Well, they can't have the whole like the first half of the movie just Krypton. Yeah, guys, we're making a Superman movie, but
yeah,
the
well,
first
yeah.
half of the movie is just about Jor-El, and then the second half
Well, of
is going to
course.
be a really short Superman origin.
I'm not even saying that we have to get,
I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know. Um, okay, let's get into the Superman story. So the flashbacks. What do you think of the flashbacks?
Okay,
Because
I
like,
think so.
yeah,
So
go ahead.
I think the flashbacks are good because it gives us like an abridged origin story of Superman and how he discovers his powers as he's growing up in a good way, rather than just giving us almost like a montage, right? That that other movies would have probably done. They sprinkle it throughout the film, and I think that's good because certain things trigger these flashbacks. But
Hmm.
I have a problem with some of the flashbacks.
Like the bus
The
part.
bus.
Well, the bus.
Yeah, well, I'm trying not to come on this movie. I'm trying not to come down on this movie so hard. I have a slight problem with the first one. I get that they're kids and all, and that they're curious to what's going on, but you're telling me that the teacher wouldn't make them stay back in the classroom after after Clark bursts out of the classroom because he's having a panic attack, because he's having sensory overload, because he can sense every little thing in the room, which, like, I get it. They're curious kids, but you would think that they
Hmm.
would have that a little bit under. It's a small criticism, nothing major. It's not. It doesn't. You know, knock the movie down a
Yeah.
peg. I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm not saying.
guess.
Well, now the second flashback involves Clark saving a school bus that he was in from
Yeah.
drowning. Now, okay. So look, I get it. They don't
There's
want
no
any.
physical evidence
The,
of him getting that bus out of the water, though.
the,
All
the
right.
bus was full of kids. There was a bus
Yeah.
driver.
Okay.
So you're telling me you have a full bus full of kids and a bus driver saying, "Yeah, Clark Kent lifted that bus out of water," and they're
Nobody's
just
gonna
gonna.
believe them.
You have all these people against one.
I know, but nobody is actually gonna believe that.
Well, they would test him. Be like, "Yo,
They,
lift this."
they would think about it. They would think about it, but I don't think at that point they'd be like, yeah, that's a miracle of God or something. That's what they'd say because they're country people.
Well, yeah,
Kansas.
yes, that
Uh,
explains one of the
that's
parents. That one of the parents says that it was a miracle of God. Look, I get it.
yeah, that's what they said.
I get it. It's so hard to believe, but when you have a full bus of kids, that's gonna travel around the school, man. Like, and then once it gets
Well, I
around to
mean,
the
it came
school,
came to it later. Lois Lane was like, yeah, she went and talked to the kid that he saved
yep.
from the water, and that it came back. But
I know it came back, but you're telling me it didn't make the local news that hey, this bus
it
magically
probably
saved. Like,
did. We didn't see it. I don't know.
I don't.
You're reading too much into it, man.
I'm reading too
Uh,
much into it because I should
let's
be
talk,
reading.
okay, we need to move on to the next part. Jonathan Kent being stupid.
Okay, this one is the
I
worst.
get where he's coming from, but he's kind of like he kind of doesn't get it, I think.
Listen, there's a tornado coming towards them, and
Oh, well, I was just talking about like his whole view on why Clark shouldn't
oh,
show
well,
everybody who he is.
no, 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 no.
Like the fact that he would be against him taking the bus of kids out of the water kind of thing.
No, no,
And he got mad at him
I wasn't too
for
upset
that.
about that. I really wasn't too upset about him not using his powers there. Like, yes, like, yeah, you probably should have done that because you're literally about to watch your dad die. I get it. I do. But at the same time, you just gotta blame his dad at some point. Like, I get it. It's a family pet. So what happens is that there's a tornado coming
Oh,
and the dog
this.
doesn't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this again.
yeah, and the dog doesn't get out of the car with him. All right, and so Clark's dad runs back to save the dog. It's a family pet. I get it, but let me tell you,
Are you not into pets, Hunter?
no, dude, I hate pets.
Oh well, that might explain this. That might explain this.
But at the same
Because I
time,
really love my pets, and You see,
Do you love your pets enough
yes,
to
yes, I will go into a natural disaster to save my cat. Yes, I will do that. I mean, maybe like I don't. If I sound crazy, I'm willing to debate with anybody. Like, I mean, it all comes down to personal experience. Not personal experience with dealing like the situation, but
right?
personal experience with owning a pet and loving that pet enough to where you go and save it. Like if it was a burning building, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's where we disagree. I mean, like it's a pet, man. I mean, like if it's a child, then yes, right? Obviously, it's a human life. But this is a dog, dude. This dog doesn't.
Yeah.
This dog
Well, I don't
eats
like
like
dogs, but in the scenario that
if it was a
it would
cat,
be
right?
if it was my dog, no, 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 nah, man. But cat, yes, I would because I love my cats. I'm a
Now,
cat guy.
now, obviously, we don't know if he would die in this situation because obviously Clark's dad dies in this situation. Like if I felt like I wasn't going to die, right? And let's say it wasn't the tornado wasn't as close as it was, yeah, I would probably save the pet if I had time. Yeah, sure, I'd probably save the pet. But
And I know I get what you're saying. Like it should have been switched. Like Clark grabs the dog, and
yeah,
then like the kid is stuck, and then it would make more sense. Yeah, I get that, but still,
I
it's still a thing. Like
I
people like
just
to save the dogs. Like dogs, like the whole thing about John Wick is his dog dies, and he goes
yeah.
and he goes on a killing spree. Okay.
hmm I like I just don't get why they had him run back to save a dog and not a child because he saves a child 45 seconds before this. You could have had him
Yeah.
save a child and I would agree with this scene 100%.
Yeah, and then also it's also kind of stupid because he hands the child to Superman or Clark,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, I'll go get the dog. I'll go get the dog. He should have just been like, hey, go get the dog
Yeah.
because you will survive this.
Yeah.
But
I
it should have been that. Like
yes.
I agree with you there. Like that's one problem I have with it.
Yeah, I don't even really have a problem with it morally
But
standing. I
hey,
just
you gotta have a reason for him to die. But
well,
it's
yeah,
like
exactly. Because Superman, like, I get it. We have to have a reason why he dies. I get that. I'm probably reading too deep into a
this isn't even
2000.
Zack Snyder's fault.
No,
It's
it's
Christopher Nolan's fault, along with some other guy that wrote this thing. Who wrote it?
uh, well,
Christopher Nolan. Well, the
Christopher
story
Nolan
was by
and
Christopher Nolan
yeah,
and some other guy.
I
I
don't
think it was
know.
written by somebody else.
Yeah. Speaking of the story and writing, let's just jump into that because this leads us in from Superman's dad into Superman's mom, Martha. Now,
Yeah,
I
keep that name in mind, by the way.
yeah,
That's gonna
keep
be
that.
important later.
Oh, it's gonna be really important in my perspective of. Anyways, I don't
And
know
I
what
have
happened.
an equally
Do you disagree with
good
that?
explanation
Okay.
for the name, but let's not get into that.
No, no, no,
Let's
no. Yeah,
talk about
that's
Martha Kent
yeah, yeah.
with the bad writing for Martha
So,
Kent.
so I don't.
Conversations with
So
Clark.
she's always so happy, and there's one scene in particular where General Zod literally destroys their house, and Superman after
Throws a freaking truck
yeah,
into
he
into
throws
their
a truck
house.
through the house, and she's just
Yep.
looking through scrapbooks. And what does Clark Kent do when he gets back? He's like, "Mom, are you okay?" And she goes, "I'm fine." Like she's talking
It's
like
just stuff. It can be replaced.
yeah, like she just
Oh
dropped a
yeah,
pan. She's
oh
talking
yeah,
like she just
and
dropped a pan.
let's also talk about like how weirdly brave she is when Zod just appears in front of her and's like, "Where's the Codex?" And she's like, "I will never tell you where it is."
I don't think
Like
I don't.
she has no fear at all whenever she says, "Go to hell." It's
Well,
like, I mean,
also, I don't
I
think she
mean,
knows what the
maybe makes
codex is
sense,
though.
but
She's probably like,
I know. Well, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, of course, because they don't. The Codex is Superman, so
right.
uh,
No, I get what you're saying
I
though. Yeah.
mean, she probably should like even if it was Jonathan Kent, you should be scared.
Yeah, you have this giant dude standing in front of you that looks
That
like
can
he's
literally just that can pull you apart
yeah,
in like 2 seconds, and you're telling him to go to hell. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know about that,
yeah,
buddy.
exactly. They,
You could just say, I literally don't know what it is, where it is, man.
yeah. I don't know what it is, man. I'm sorry.
Maybe you should ask Superman.
Yeah, I mean,
Superman doesn't even know where it is either,
Which I
because
mean,
he is the Codex.
the writing at times in this film is just not bad, but not mind blowing at times. Like where just things kind of happen, and it's mainly with Martha. I just feel like with Martha, they're just like, well, we kind of need you for the next film.
Some of the scenes with her were could have been deleted. Is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, well, yeah, or like the scene where he comes back from his multiple jobs that he has, and he comes back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. Like the jobs
Yeah,
that he had. Like like when you see him walking around shirtless, like looking for clothes, and then he has a beard and he saves a bunch
yeah.
of people. I felt like I was watching a Wolverine movie.
I was gonna say that. I was
Like
gonna make that
it
joke.
felt like a Wolverine movie. Like yeah, he's just wandering around helping people,
Yeah.
and like I feel like Zack Snyder should make a Wolverine movie now. I think about it. It could be really good for that.
You think Marvel would let him touch a property though? Or I should say
Why
Disney.
not?
I feel like they probably wouldn't be up for that. The darker tone that he takes superheroes in, like I would like it. I think he would make a good Wolverine film.
What's wrong with darker stuff for Disney?
Do you think Disney would want it
They
to?
made freaking Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, dude,
I haven't
without Marvel.
well, I haven't seen that, so
Yeah, and At World's End and yeah, they've
well,
made some dark stuff.
doesn't WandaVision
They're
get kind
getting
of
ready to
dark?
make Blade.
Oh, Blade.
WandaVision?
Yeah, isn't
No,
no.
for people were like, oh, this is dark. WandaVision is like the darkest it ever goes. Is showing the corpse of Vision, who is a robot, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's literally
well,
like people
speaking
are like, oh my God, my heart dropped when I saw that. Like, really?
well, speaking of corpses, Superman
Corpses.
causes a lot of those in this film.
Oh yeah.
Which now you're gonna think I'm crazy once I say this, but I actually enjoy that in this film. I don't like I shouldn't say enjoy, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not.
Yeah, I enjoy him killing people.
I shouldn't. Well, yeah. Let me rephrase that. I'm not opposed to Superman killing, and I say that in a loose
Yeah.
term. I'm not upset when I see him kill somebody in this context, because the context is this is Superman's first day on the job. It's a young
Hmm.
Clark Kent. He doesn't know much. He's this is his first day on the job. What and he doesn't go out of his way to kill a civilian or something like that. He's well,
Yeah.
he- well
If he
he's
saw what he was doing, he would be like, okay, I need to tone it down a little bit. But I think what he was just trying to stop Zod because if he didn't stop Zod, everybody would die.
right
So,
exactly.
small price to pay for salvation.
Yeah. Well, and it also sets up the next movie, a conflict in the next movie.
Really, really well, by the way.
I can agree with that. Well, I can agree that it sets up a good conflict. Do I agree with the conflict?
Okay, hey, you've only seen the movie once. Let's tone it down a little bit. Okay, you're about to see it again.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
wait. Just wait. Okay. Lois Lane.
Oh man,
She is way too involved in the plot, I
I
think.
seriously think she has more runtime than not Batman than Superman.
Yeah, it feels
I
like she's in the
genuinely
movie
think
more
that.
than you see. Well, you see Clark Kent, but when you see him in his Superman suit doing Superman things, I think that you see her more than
Oh, for
that.
sure.
Maybe. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it. So,
I think it feels like that because part of it I really don't care about the investigation of Superman. I just or the Ice Lair. I don't,
well, she's actually treated like who she is, which is a reporter in this movie.
yeah,
It's not just the damsel, you know.
yeah. She's not. Yeah, she doesn't play Mary Jane.
She's also a really good person. She's really good at zapping some Kryptonians.
Yeah. Apparently, she's probably never picked up a gun in her life, and she's just a marksman shooter. Like,
She got trained in the ways of Kryptonian gunfighting by Jor-El.
yeah.
In that one scene, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna show you how to play Doom. Have you ever played Doom before?"
Have you
And
ever
then
played? Have you ever played a game
two guys
called
to the
Counter
left.
Strike?
She just shoots them and
Well,
they're
see,
dead.
like
She
if
kills
Clark,
them.
now let's say Clark Kent was in the scene, right? and he does it right. That I could see why that makes sense. I mean, he's a
Wait, what? Who?
Kryptonian. If Superman,
If Superman? No,
yeah.
Superman wouldn't even need the blaster.
Well, yes, that's true. But let's just say, right? It would make more sense. Whatever. My. But what I'm saying is that it just doesn't make sense that she can just pick up a weapon and just be like, excellent aim. Uh, I will say though, she
Well, I
is
mean, like she's got to get those really good camera shots. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta be really good aiming at the camera. So maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
At least she never got to the point where she was annoying, like with Martha, like where I'm
Oh yeah,
like,
she is not annoying at
no,
all.
no, no,
Neither is
no, no.
Martha. I just think the problem with Martha is the writing.
Well, yeah, I just think I don't enjoy Martha just because I'm like, I do not care and I don't enjoy your writing. But with Lois, it actually, it's not
Well,
just
she's the whole like plot of Superman, and we'll get more into that with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
is she a lot in that too?
Well, she's not in it a lot. I'm just saying like it's really important for
Okay,
Superman's story. She is
right,
very important for Superman's story.
right, right,
So
right.
is his mom,
Yeah.
but more so Lois Lane.
Yep. Yep.
So let's talk about Superman's suit because a lot of people hate that he doesn't have the trunks. You know what I'm talking about? Like the underwear
Oh,
outside of his pants.
I didn't even notice
I
that.
I know, right? You don't even notice it. You don't even notice it.
I think his suit is a Superman suit. I mean, you can't really mess it up.
Yeah. Well, I never liked the trunks on Batman or Superman, and neither does Batman. Batman doesn't have the trunks either. If you were
No,
wondering. Um, God, people are just so
I can't even remember
purists when it comes to this crap.
The last Batman suit that had trunks. Maybe did he have them in Batman and Robin?
I don't know. Nor
Huh.
do I care. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
I don't care.
Superman versus Zod. The fights are great. Fights are great in this
Whoo,
movie. They're
man! I
really
wish that
good.
there was
They're
more of
really
them
good.
because they are great. Because
The,
there's one
mhm.
thing that I will say about the Dark Knight trilogy that is not great and that I wish they did differently is the fact
The
that
action.
the action's good, right? Like the scenes make sense. The only problem is there's so many like not cutaway, but so many cutaway strikes like where
Choreography.
yes, where you don't see them, where you don't see the punch land, you don't see any connection there. But in this movie, you
Just
only
kind
see
of
connection.
happens.
You only see connection because it's all CGI.
Yeah, that's one thing he does that Zack Snyder does really well is like when he does effects, when he uses effects, he makes the camera digital.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching a video game cutscene, pretty much.
Yeah, it's great, man. Those fight scenes, I wish that we had a few
Except
more
it's
of
a
them.
really, really high quality video
Yeah.
game cutscene.
I wish that we either had a few more of them or if they extended a few of them just a little bit, But I mean, I'm intrigued every time I see either Zod fight Superman or what was the girl's name? I forgot her name. The female
Feora.
Krypton. Yeah, Feora. Or when he fights Feora, I think those scenes are fantastic. Which leads to the death of Zod, which people got upset about. And
For some reason.
like I said, with the context of this Superman
Like,
is
yeah, I don't like it when Superman kills because he's supposed to be a really good person. Yeah, somebody can kill and still be a good person, like Captain America or like literally any soldier in war.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying every soldier in war. I'm talking about like the ones defending
Right.
like
Yeah, I know.
America
Yeah, I
and
know what
blah
you're
blah
saying.
blah. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Killing for the greater good, not just to kill. Like they
Yeah.
have no other choice. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't see what you can be upset about with Superman killing General Zod. I mean, you could argue, yeah, he could have probably. It probably would have been better if he didn't kill him, but he had no other choice, and he still his first day. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like he just kills him after he's. It's not like General Zod's on his back and he's like, "Spare me, Superman. We can rebuild or something." And then Superman's like, "Go to hell." No, he doesn't do that. General Zod is using laser vision and he's trying to kill a family. and Superman
Hmm.
has no other choice but snapping his neck.
It would be really smart for the family though,
Hmm.
is to do limbo under that beam of heat going
it's,
at him.
it's yeah.
Because Superman had the guy's has Zod's head going from the left to the right,
Right.
not up and down. So they really could have just
That
went
yeah.
under it.
That's true.
But hey, look, I'm sorry. It's I get it's hard to write things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that
That's not really that's a nitpick. All right,
yeah.
a lot of this is nitpicks. Uh, yeah, he snapped his neck like a good Superman. Love that.
Is there anything else we have to talk about?
And then he screams about it.
Well, yeah.
Zod, perfect casting, and does his view make sense?
Oh, and we also got to talk about the government. So Zod's casting
Yeah.
just fits really well. Um, just from his tone, his temper, and that angry look that he always has. I think it fits. Um, do I think he's in the right? I mean,
No.
no, of course not. But I
For his
guess,
context, I mean, does it make sense? Nah, not really. Not to me.
well, what do you mean, like context wise? Like,
Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to turn Earth into Krypton too.
yes,
But what Superman's telling him is that they can coexist.
oh yeah, and he's like, no, that can't work.
Oh, that can't work because humans are not Kryptonians, and it's not that doesn't happen. That's heresy or whatever he says
Well,
at the beginning.
and then also he's like, we can adapt to Earth. Clark Kent did it. It just takes time.
And then he did it later in the movie,
Yeah,
didn't he? Yeah, he
yeah,
did.
he did. It's not that hard. You just need to put your mind to it, like Superman said. You need to focus
And
your.
if Kryptonians were born there, I think they would eventually develop.
Well, I don't. I think it would take one child. I think the first child would be adapted because they wouldn't know what.
Yeah, they wouldn't know the
Yeah,
difference,
exactly. They wouldn't know.
but they would still go through that phase that Clark did
Oh,
at
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's just basic biology, though. So
That's true.
they would teach that in schools. And yeah, I'm just thinking about all the different possibilities there.
Yeah, but no, only it's yeah.
But only
Basically,
if they
he's
made Man of Steel 2,
well.
because then we would actually maybe have some Kryptonian coexistence with humans.
Yeah, but how can you have a Man of Steel 2 with it being not a prequel, but setting up the events of the next movie, Batman v Superman?
What?
Well, how do you have a Man of Steel
I'm
2
talking
after?
about after Zack Snyder's Justice League Man of Steel 2.
I see. Yeah.
Anyway, government, Train Go Boom guy
Okay.
from Black Ops 3.
Yeah, Train
He's
Go
in
Boom
he's
guy's
in this
here.
movie.
He
He's
also
in the movie,
he
and
also
he's
sacrifices
in love
himself.
with Feora girl, maybe. We don't know for sure.
Oh, dude.
And then he's like, a good death is its own reward, and then
Yeah.
he goes plain go boom right into
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah.
the world engine, whatever it's called.
Yeah, it was World Engine.
Plain go boom, and then he dies,
Yep.
and then they all disintegrate like Infinity War, and then Zod versus Superman, which we already talked about.
Yep.
Okay, so
So, do you think the government was in the right for not trusting Superman? Like, so I think at the beginning they had
well,
every
maybe.
right. I think in the beginning they had every right to. And then throughout the film they keep going from this flip-flop from yeah, he's kind of an enemy, we don't trust him, to yeah, we trust him, to no, let's not trust him, to let's trust him again. Like, can you pick?
This man is not our enemy,
Yeah,
and then that's the end of that.
he's clearly fighting General Zod. He's clearly on your guys' side.
Well, I mean, they said that after they clearly saw it, because like before it was just they were all three standing there when they first saw it, you know.
But you wouldn't think that if Superman's been here his whole life that he wouldn't have done something already.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it. I get that.
I mean, at first I get it, they don't trust him, but after the first time, you would think, yeah, let's trust him. But then they kind of flip flop back and forth. And it's like, okay.
He's kind of a dangerous guy, you know. It's
Well, he's a dangerous guy, but clearly he cares about Earth.
yeah, well, they don't really know that for sure yet.
Well, they also witnessed him saving Lois Lane, so.
If you knew there was a guy at your school who was indestructible who had laser vision, but you knew he was a good guy, would you trust him?
Yes, if he, well, yeah, after he proves himself for the first time, then yeah.
Hmm. I don't know, man.
So,
Knowing that he still has the human temptations and he can just get pissed at anybody at any moment and just like, oh, they're gone. You just laser vision gone.
do we
You
have
know?
anything else we need to talk
I don't know,
about
man.
before we,
We need to talk about, does it set up BVS well? Yes, it does. Does it
I
set up the
agree.
DCU? Yeah, well, I
It's
don't know about
dead,
that.
but
What, the DCU?
yeah, well, the
No?
Snyderverse. Oh,
The Snyderverse, maybe. We don't know for sure yet. I think it's coming back, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know about
I
that.
think it will.
Might.
I think it will.
I don't know. Maybe my perspective will change after I see Justice League.
I think it should. 100%.
But I think it sets up BVS well. I mean, it does really well. I mean,
Perfectly.
yeah.
I mean, that's you can tell
the
that's what they were trying to do
yeah,
when you see BVS.
yeah. The events that happen in Man of Steel directly affect BVS and the plot of BVS and the conflict. It's great.
Yes.
It's a great
Yes.
setup.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Hunter?
I
Any
just
final thoughts? Well,
yeah,
actually, we got to give a rating. So I
yeah.
give it a 9
You give it a
because
9.
writing things
All right,
and
let's give our
Lois Lane
ratings
being
and
too
then
much
give
in
your
it.
final thoughts on it, and then yeah,
Well, I
give.
just did. I
Okay.
said 9 out of 10. Lois Lane, too much Lois Lane.
So for
Writing can be
me,
a bit bad sometimes.
I give it a 7. Um, I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think it's a good Superman movie. It's also a good superhero film. I think you should see it if you haven't seen it. But it doesn't really break any boundaries, I would say, for me personally. And with some of the writing in this film, just isn't great. And then with on top of that, Lois Lane having so much focus at times brings it down for me. And then, I mean, Martha Kent is her writing is the worst. I don't know what they did, but I mean, it's not a bad movie. That's why I give it a 7. I wouldn't give it anything. I wouldn't give it like a 4 or anything like that. I give it a solid 7. It's a solid film. It's not bad by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
So,
right. So
thank you for watching the review.
yeah. So you guys are gonna
Stay
see
tuned for
us.
BVS,
Yeah. So you guys are gonna see us next week when
Batman
we
versus
talk about
Superman.
BVS. But we're about to watch BVS, and
Yeah, we're about to watch it right now.
what I'm gonna say is I'm not fond of this movie, and you'll find out what I think about it next video.
Yeah,
That
and we're gonna do a video where we do a review, and then we're not even gonna talk about Batman in that movie because I mean, but we're not even gonna talk about Batman in that review. We're gonna talk about him
we'll talk
in a
about
separate
him,
video. He's gonna get his own video because Hunter has a really big problem with Batman in that movie,
I have a huge problem, but you know,
and I strongly disagree with him on that. So that's
yeah,
gonna be kind of a debate.
it's yeah. Point C might deband,
Banned?
deband like deband. You know,
Yeah,
deband like the Beatles.
sure. Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
check out the podcast. We have a podcast. We talk about stuff like this over there, and it's in the description. Check out our
Yeah.
Twitters.
With
Check out the archive. We put archival footage from our streams up there if we did any streams, and yeah, go
yeah,
check it out.
yeah. Go check
Bye.
it out. Bye.